Well, if they have full blown multiplayer at any point, I will definitely give it a try. If it's like for real co-op, we can run through the whole game together.
I don't think it's honestly, yo, if I was being honest, bro, is I don't think it's gonna be your
My cup
bag,
of
bro.
tea. My cup of tea.
No,
I
I really
really,
don't think so.
I like some
I
of
mean,
those
you
games. Some of those
no,
games
but
I like.
you've told me on a number of occasions, like, oh, I don't know how you guys like those games, or you fucking just dying over and over. It's like masochism, and
It is kind of. You can't tell me that's not a little masochistic playing these Dark Souls games where you have to fight the same boss a dozen times to get like a good understanding of what their emotions are. Because I know like once you fight a boss a couple of times, you have an opportunity usually to get an understanding and go, okay, so this is his pattern. I understand it now. This is when I
yeah,
need to dodge. This is when I need to do that. I get that, but for those bosses, for me, when I first played it, the first boss, I just couldn't find his rhythm, and I just kept dying. And I'm like, man, there's got to be like some like pattern to his madness. He's not just gonna randomly strike me every time. But that's what it felt like. I'm like, yo, these fucking AI are like relentless. It's not something
mm,
that I don't know. I don't like getting killed by a computer. I'm not down to getting
yeah.
by Skynet fucking this early.
I'm telling you, then it's probably not your bag, man. You probably should save your money, honestly, because it's gonna. That's what it's gonna be. That's all those games are, bro. I mean, I like that kind of shit. Like
No,
I
I
love,
know.
like I don't look at it like oh, I died a million times. I look at more like it's just the challenge. It's just
Yeah,
okay. I haven't figured this puzzle out in my mind. You know what I'm saying? You got to get the perfect balance of when to strike, when not to strike. Don't get greedy, and
right.
then that feeling of elation when you fucking finally
I
beat this
remember you telling me
fucking
that.
thing's ass, bro.
Hmm.
Oh, it's not, yo. No game makes me feel like these Dark Souls games or
Really?
anything from software. Yo,
Not even The
you
Last
be
of Us?
well. I mean, that's a kind of a different like emotions is invoking. But just when we're talking about pure self satisfaction and accomplishment, like
Yeah.
after beating something, nothing to me touches that. Like you literally shout like, "Ah! Fucker!" Like, you really feel that way, you know what I'm saying? Like, and no, how many times have you played a Gears game and you beat a boss in Gears? Was you like, yeah, finally I killed you?
Nah, nah,
Like,
nah.
you're like, oh yes, I got him, got his ass.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. It's not
these
the
games
same. It's
make
not the same. No,
it's not the same. You know what I'm saying?
not even
Like,
close, probably. Because like Gears is like they kind of map it out for you to be able to beat the boss. They give you like a couple of decent tips along the way, and you're like, oh, I just gotta shoot this guy here. Like they make it really apparent, you know. In
yeah,
Dark
yeah.
Souls, I feel like you gotta figure it out. It's just like that game. Oh my god, it's this game where you have to climb these like big ass like rock monsters and find the weak point.
Oh, Shadow of
Shadow of
Colossus.
Colossus, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it reminds me of. And like, I liked it for that game because like the climbing aspect of everything, especially on the remastered one on PS4, yo, that shit was
Mm.
fun. That shit was fun. So like, I feel like I can get into it, but then it's like, but I'm gonna die the
Yeah.
whole time. On that
Yeah.
game, it was just like I'm just climbing, trying to figure it out. Like, damn, where the fuck is this thing at?
Right.
And then every so often, they would try to swipe at me, and you gotta drop off of it, and then grab again, and then move around. So it was kind of easier to dodge and like better, like easier to get. I guess that's what it is. The games are just fucking hard, and
They're
like,
more punishing,
yeah,
absolutely. Like it's like when you try to compare those two games, like and mind you, I
ooh, Dark
really
Souls, but with
love
Gears
Shadow of
Locust, that would be
Colossus, the
hot.
original. I never played the remake. I actually saw like some videos on TikTok today of it. But
Really?
when you look at the two types of games, like these from software games, they're fucking punishment. It's a gauntlet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Shadow Colossus was much more of a puzzle game. It felt way more like a puzzle to figure out, and it was
right.
impressive models. Like
Yeah,
I always liked the one with the sword. You should bring the sword all the way down on you. It was like,
yeah.
especially when that game came out, it was like a what PS2
PS2, it was
title or something
PS2
like
title.
that.
Yeah.
that was nuts, bro. You
Yeah.
see some 100-foot tall thing with a 50-foot sword trying to hit you.
Yep.
You know, it was
Pretty
very
cool.
cinematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like
It's a
that.
beautiful game. I was really glad when they remastered that. I was like, yo, it's a beautiful game. So seeing it with like current gen graphics was really dope. Like I still have it. I haven't finished beating it yet, but there's a couple of games like I will definitely always bend on that factor when it comes to the console debate between Xbox and PlayStation. I sincerely believe PlayStation has some of the most beautiful games ever produced. Period. I mean, when you look at The Last of Us, Uncharted, Heavenly Sword. I mean, like there are so many games that they've produced that were just visually gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think people in Xbox can really like argue that. I don't think that's something that's worth arguing. But what I will say is where PlayStation, in my opinion, lacks is their user interface, their online support in terms of having like an easy to access online community. It's just not there, you know? And the UI is still looking like a PlayStation Vita. Like, I mean, you know, like I had PSP in high school. That's the same UI they're still using. And it's just like Xbox reinvents its user interface every few years. Every few years you get an update where they hope to improve the experience and make it better. They don't always hit the mark. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
They missed the mark. They do miss the mark. But let's keep it real. Did we not get one of the best updates on Xbox 360 when they installed that program for you to be able to watch Netflix with your friends as your avatar in the lobby? What online experience provided that? Me too, dog. All you needed was you both had to have Netflix. That's it. Like, I want that feature back. But like that feature, think about it. That was an Xbox thing. Like Xbox was kind of ahead of the curve. Now they got rid of it, and that sucks. But like, let's not forget, like they've had some of the best user interface experiences that gaming has afforded or allotted us in the last 10, 15 years.
Well, I mean, I really, really like the UI on the Xbox now. Now, when the Xbox One first like dropped, it was terrible. It was the UI. I thought to myself, this was a regression. I said, how could you make something worse than it on the 360? It was like, you just click the button, you pick your friends, you do whatever. It was quick. Like they buried things in menus. Like it was crazy. I was just like, oh, this kind of sucks. It's so hard to get to what I want. Now it's just like, it kind of feels like the 360. What I loved about it was the sliders, because you had like those individual pictures for each slide. I kind of always like swooping through it. And the new UI for the Xbox feels like that, kind of without the pictures. Right. You slide over to whatever you need. It's right there. It's really accessible. The PlayStation, I haven't had the PS5 for that long, and I've seen there was a little bit update. But I feel like it's just a graphical update.
Yeah.
Like it's almost the same shit, like you said, that XM bar or whatever. You just sliding over. It's like, and then they separated like the games and the media apps. Yeah. So like I got like I'd be like, oh, I'm trying to get to YouTube and I'm just sliding back and forth. I'm like, yo, this shit is so stupid, but like
I don't like it at all. Like, you know what's even worse to me? Just going to the store. The experience in the PlayStation store is pretty awful. Like, I gotta keep it real. It's pretty awful. Like, even somebody in my chat just said, I've always liked the UI Xbox on Xbox over Sony. And I couldn't agree with you more, Chris. Like, in my opinion, when it comes to just making sure you have just an amazing user experience, I think Xbox is it. You know, and that holds true to a couple of different factors. Remember I told you about my controller? When my controller was busted, I hit Xbox up. Not really getting the response. I'm like, man, this shit's kind of sus. Like, I just want to get the toolkit to get my controller like working again so I can fix it. Like, it's the right bumper. All I got to do is put a new bumper kit in. So I call again and I finally get somebody on the phone. The dude's like, okay, yeah, actually I see your ticket in here. I'm like, oh, you do see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you know what I'm talking about now. A second ago, you ain't know what the fuck I was talking about, but now you know what the fuck I'm saying. So he, you know, looks at it for a second. He like goes like, you know, dead air for a moment and goes, okay, we'll get this taken care of for you. Just look out for an email. Next day, I get an email with a tracking number. I'm like, oh, Finally, they're shitting my shit out. I get my shit a day later. It's a brand new Elite Series 2 controller. I'm like, what the fuck? So I go on their website. I go on their website. I plug in the code, the barcode. I'm able to put a warranty on it. Slap the warranty on that bitch too.
You just unlock infinite controller glitch.
You know, what I'm saying? I got this Elite right here that I play with, and then if shit goes wrong in that closet, there's a brand new one sitting there.
See, I had a similar experience. Now, I guess I wasn't as smart as you to check to see if my new controller had a new warranty, but I had problems with my Elite controller because I really like the Elite controller, but it goes bad. Like the wear and tear is.
Yeah, dog. Don't preach. Yo, you preaching to the choir. I know the sticks, the bumpers.
Yo, bro, the first thing that happened to me, like, you know, the little trigger stops in the back has a little rubber on it. I'm talking like
what's up,
2
Viper?
days
What's going on, man?
using
Welcome
this
back
controller. That little rubber.
Thank you so much for the follow. Merky Viper just came in here and said that he had to replace his Elite twice. So everybody's feeling that pain, dog. Anybody who's purchased an Elite has felt the pain of knowing that I spent $200 that I'm gonna have to spend again.
Now, I got lucky because I did get it for Christmas, but I ended up.
Yeah.
I ended up asking, you know, I want to put a ticket in for the controller. They first it was like $100 to exchange it. Then it was $50. And then they told me, well, we're gonna send you just the body. You keep the little pieces, you know, the replaceable parts, and you swap those out. And they ended up sending me a brand new controller. So I was
nice.
Okay.
Nice.
You know, but that one has gone bad on me. I got bad stick drift.
See, that's what they're getting. They're getting sued for that shit right now. Still, I looked it up the other day.
Really?
That lawsuit is ongoing.
Get down.
Bro, I'm saying, real talk, because like this has been an issue apparently since the OG Xbox, dog. I didn't even know this. I didn't own an OG Xbox. My cousin did. I had a PS2. So then when the 360 came out, that's when I switched over because the PS3 was kind of trash. Like let's not be weird. Nah, dog. You know the PS3 was trash.
No.
Yes, it was trash. Come on, bro. Sony themselves came out and said it was a failed console. The producer themselves. Trash. Oh my god.
It was not trash. It was hard to develop for because they had like some like cell processor thing going on or whatever. Right. But yo, let's be real.
Heavenly Sword.
Great game.
Heavenly Sword.
The Last of Us 1.
Was that a PS3
game? It was a PS3 game, and then it was the best PS4 game for a while, bro.
The Last of Us 1 was a PS3 game? I forgot about that. I thought it was PS4.
Because I beat that game on Grounded before trophies even hit, so I never got the like achievements for it or whatever, or trophies. But there was a lot of good games on there. Now, what sucked about it was like the multiplayer side. Like you said, Xbox has been far and above the better, like, you know, company when it comes to your multiplayer experience.
Viper knows what I'm talking about. Viper even said PS3 is where most switched over to Xbox. See? I'm telling you, PS3 was boo-boo, dog.
I'm not, no. See,
bruh.
You can't say.
How can I not say that?
The 360 barely I'm not even sure if it actually outsold the PS3. But
I don't think it did actually. I think the PS3 still outsold it. But dude,
it was not a bad system. It was not a bad system. Right. Now I love.
We'll agree to disagree.
I'll give you this. I'll give you this. No. I'll give you this. I actually preferred my 360 better. Mind you, I went through 9 Xbox 360s in the lifetime. 9 of them.
What?
From that Red Ring to, I'm telling you.
Not 9.
9,
you 50 Cent down, you got shot 9 times.
I'm the 50 Cent of Xbox
360.
9 times, bro. But that's a testament also to how good the system was. Because I was willing to put up with all of that crap to go back because I loved it. You know, me and you have talked about this. The 360 to me and you.
The golden age of gaming. The golden age of gaming.
It was the best. It was like you finally could get with your friends. You were still communicating with strangers, and it was kind of toxic sometimes. But that
Sometimes
shit was an experience.
it really was.
Like you don't get that anymore. Now
No.
everybody's in their little circles. I'm guilty of it. I don't even play with random people like 99% of the time. And if I do play with them, comms off.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to talk to anybody.
Real shit.
I hope they got paid.
Hey,
in the
thank you,
game.
Chris. Chris knows. Chris is like, I'm a Gears of War player, so I'll always be Xbox over PlayStation. That's true, man. That's true. Like, my favorite series of all time in gaming is not Halo. It's not Street Fighter. It's not any of the shit that I grew up with. It's Gears of War. When I was an adult, I discovered online gaming. I didn't have online gaming when I was a kid. I didn't have it in high school. I didn't have it until I moved out of my parents' house, and I got an Xbox 360 from my brother. It was the first thing I bought myself with my new job was an Xbox 360, and with that bundle came the original Gears of War, and that shit changed my world. You know what I'm saying? It changed the way that I viewed gaming. I viewed gaming before that as like a solo experience that I got to enjoy when I got home from work by myself. Now it became this community of like people that were like-minded. That I met you through Gears. I met Monkey. I met my boy Nick. I met so many people through that game that it changed the entire way that I look at gaming today.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would agree. Like my actual first experience with online gaming was the original.
Oh, not the rapping in the towel trick. Oh my god, Chris, what a fucking OG you are.
I was part of a nice community.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody it was real close knit too, because back then, it wasn't like so, exploding amount of people online.
Right.
Select fewer people. They played this shit online. You would join the lobby. It was usually the same people.
Right.
You cultivated friendships for years, and that was my first taste of it. But Xbox 360 took it to a whole nother level. Now this shit was like super mainstream.
Right.
Like everybody was online. Like you said, the Gears Awards days.
Real shit, Chris.
The
literally
best
game
I
changer.
ever did.
Like in the actual.
The only thing
sense.
I could say was like even matching to that is actually PUBG for me now.
Right.
With my boy Viper, who's in here. Like I met him on Gears,
right.
And I knew him for over 10 years, and then we started playing PUBG, and now this has been like probably the game I played like
the most
for the longest amount of time. But I also grew up like playing systems, like so PlayStations of every era I played. Nintendo, all the Xboxes,
of course.
And my favorite gaming franchise of all time is Metal Gear Solid. So that was a PlayStation exclusive for a while. So
yeah.
But I was never I've never been like a fanboy. Like,
Me either.
PlayStation over Xbox or Nintendo over.
But I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. I was mad tight when I found out Street Fighter V was a PlayStation exclusive. I was so tight about that because you and I used to play tag team Street Fighter 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was something that I used to have fun playing with my friends with on Xbox. So I had to buy a PlayStation just to experience it. And then Street Fighter 5 ended up being trash. It ended up being trash. So it's like, what? Yeah. I bought this shit?
Very disappointing.
Oh my god, I returned that shit so fast. Oh, Lord.
I mean, to think how much, Street Fighter 4, I played on the Xbox 360, the PlayStation.
I played it on PS3 too, yeah.
I bought it on my iPhone. I had it for 3DS or whatever.
No, you did. The 3DS? Baby, you want to hit this?
I just remember buying it 4 times, bro. I loved Street Fighter 4, and I was so hyped for Street Fighter 5, and I just thought that it was just, there's a competent fighter, but it's almost soulless. I don't know what about that game.
No, what you just said was right. It feels soulless because I'm gonna keep it real. It's V-Trigger. V-Trigger destroyed the game. V-Trigger destroyed the game. That was an added feature that was so unnecessary that it's literally ruined the scope of the game for me. Like, you have to incorporate V-Trigger combos just to be competent in the game. Straight up. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. It saves really whack players. It saves really whack players because as soon as that V-Trigger gets built, you'll see some fucking instant comebacks come out of nowhere, and it's annoying. I don't like that. Just like I don't like that rage art that they added to Tekken 7. Like, what the fuck is that? There's a super in Tekken now? Like, what the fuck? Like, where did this come from?
That's not even a Tekken.
It's exactly. It's not even a Tekken thing.
Tekken,
so
yeah, it doesn't fit the game. Now, what I really didn't like about Street Fighter V 2 was the fact that some iconic were locked. Like, how could you not have like the main cast?
Yeah,
you know,
Honda.
Honda, Guile, Chun-Li, Blanca. Like,
Guile's a DLC too? God damn.
I think Guile's a DLC. I can't remember. Like, it's been a while now, but I just remember like that some of the core characters were
DLCs
behind a paywall, and it felt so
right.
gross. Like, yeah, like that's wrong.
Like, lock people like G. That dude G is dope. Him being behind the paywall, I understand. Or what's the old boy that can do basically everybody's shit? He's got like the long hair that sticks up. He kind of looks like he's Greek or some shit. He's like half one color, half another color.
I forget his name. I know what you're talking about.
But you know who I mean. Like him. Like people like that, I get it. But Bison being behind a season pass?
Well, I don't remember Bison was,
yeah, Bison. I think Bison is. Is he?
Well, no, I don't think so, because I think Bison. I actually, because Bison used to be like one of my mains from Street Fighter 4, but they did change his skill set too. Like,
yeah, they did the same thing for Ken, which I didn't like.
I didn't like some of the changes they made, and you know, it was very disappointing. Now, I if I'm not mistaken, I thought I saw that they had actually announced Street Fighter 6. But I haven't seen any footage or anything.
It's a teaser, and it's just like, you know, CGI. Like, you see Ryu standing there.
You can't really go. Well, actually, when it comes to like something like a fighting game like that, you know, other games that you would look at CGI, you would be like, oh, I can't really, you know, trust any of this.
Tekken was able to achieve that. Tekken 7's graphics are insane. For it to still be going on, like, I mean, I don't know when they're gonna announce Tekken 8, but for that game to still be like as good as it is and as popping as it is, because a lot of people play it. Like, Tekken is still having tournaments; they're like competing all over the world in that shit still right now. So, they've added a lot of new people to the game. People that have broken the game too. Like when they added apparently Akuma, that broke the game for a year.
You know, I've rarely watched like tournaments or anything like
really?
that, but I
love them.
I've seen some stuff. I've seen some stuff like on like Facebook of Tekken, because I used to play Tekken like way back in the day. I never really got into it like that.
Right.
But like I've seen some Akumas playing, and you know, some of these some names that I kept hearing over and over, but like high level shit, you know, like it's fucking nuts. You know, that game looks really cool. I just never got into it, because I was always more like a Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat guy. Did you get Mortal Kombat 11? You know what? I got that game and then just never played it. Like, I really just never played it.
Dude, you gotta at least play the story. The story is actually pretty good. It's actually not bad.
I played very little. I think I remember playing like with Sub-Zero, and like they changed all his moves again. Like, so, I guess, you know. It's like I hate change, you know. Change is good, but sometimes like when something's, you know, when you got a thing good, like just leave it alone.
Just leave it alone. No?
Like just leave it alone. Add some shit, but like, you know, they changed his whole moveset. The same thing with Street Fighter 5. They changed some of the movesets, and I didn't like that. But like, I think I could get used to that. It's just some of the other, you know. Also, like, I played so much shit that like for me to like invest like a lot of time into learning a fighting game, like, you know how it is. You kick ass in Dragon Ball. So like, and you go to the lab and you train and you fight and you do all this shit. Like, that shit takes a lot. I play a lot of games, like all over. I'm all over the place, and I play a lot of PUBG. So I really just didn't have the time to play that, you know, and get good at it again. You know, like, no, I don't even. Maybe I just don't have the will like I used to. You know.
Well,
Mortal Kombat X was a surprise. It was like a surprise hit for me. You know, I didn't expect that game to be that good. That game was fucking phenomenal.
Oh my god, dude! The Bojutsu of Kung Jin, man. If they brought Kung Jin back to Mortal Kombat 11, I probably would have went back to the game. But they didn't. They brought, like, you know, Spawn, which looked cool. Terminator, which also looked cool. But I'm like, damn, all these characters seem like it's all just pay to win now. Because I'm watching Sonic Fox play with Terminator, and his ability to spam like projectiles because he can shoot you, pull out the shotgun, and then shoot you, and then pull out the shotgun. Same thing with RoboCop. He was doing the same thing with RoboCop. I'm like, bro, this shit doesn't even look fun. I gotta deal with people spamming this kind of shit online. Oh no! But then that's the other thing. The online on Mortal Kombat 11 is amazing. So much better, way better than Dragon Balls. Way better, and I don't even know how. It's the same shit. It's all ping based, so I'm just like, why is my ping so much worse on Dragon Ball? Why is the netcode so much worse on Dragon Ball than it is on fucking Mortal Kombat? So crazy. Arc Systems has been making games for fucking decades now. They know how to do rollback netcode. I don't know why they didn't add it to Dragon Ball, but now they're saying they can't build it into Dragon Ball because it needs to be built out with that in mind. So because Dragon Ball wasn't built with rollback netcode in mind, they're probably not going to implement it. Which, what the fuck? Who cares?
So now you got what you got now.
That's trash. And you're still adding content to the game while we're in the middle of the pandemic still. So like people aren't going to these LAN tournaments, right? So they're holding a bunch of online tournaments, right?
Oh,
so if you're going to be doing if you're doing a bunch of online tournaments and you're not going to address the netcode, whose folly here? Us for enjoying, like the game so much that we want you to do something better with it? Like, I mean, I don't know. It just seems weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mortal Kombat 10 was a surprise hit. Too many variances in how you could play with people because of the two different styles you could choose. Like you could, I think for Kling Jin it was like bow jutsu, and he did another one with an arrow. Like he uses like his bow and arrow or something like that more. And then like with Scorpion, I remember it was like his swords was one, and then the other one was the chains.
Yeah, that game was, it had a lot of like a lot of character variation that it just felt like it was fun, and everybody. I
asked him right after he's finished with his
in the right kind of way, like play some fighting games where it just feels like, oh, this is just. Like I like Smash, but like Smash can be like that where you got 4 characters that all kind of feel the same, Yeah,
so, Smash is like a different kind of animal, Like now, it's hard.
You see that shit's hard. Online?
That shit's hard.
That online, or in tournaments.
In tournaments, yes.
I seen some like Foxes versus Falco fights that like I started having like a seizure because they're like and they're blasting each other and they're fighting underneath the goddamn the stage. And I'm like, how the hell are they even doing it? I know I'm flying. I'm like, oh, he's trying to grab the egg. And they would just be eating me for dinner, bro. Like
real talk.
God, it's amazing. The thing. Like I look at gaming now, like just in general, like the people that game. And I remember, like when I was growing up, I was like the game guy. Oh, you wanted to know something about a game? Come to me. Or you need help with a game? I could tell you. I could do it for you. My older brothers asking me, here, pass this game for me.
Then you put the question in the request box,
right? And you plug the controller in. But like now is like. Now there's like a level of gaming like I'll never reach that,
Bro, Reddit ruined everything. Once people got on Reddit, I'm telling you right now, Reddit ruined the internet. Actually, if you want to know what I really think about Reddit, fuck Reddit. Okay, like I am not a Reddit fan. All right, I'm gonna get to Chris's question though. What games are we maining right now, Merky? What are you maining right now?
I mean, like I said. PUBG is always near and dear. Anytime I can play PUBG, I play PUBG. But I'm playing Rocket League, which I'm not, I'm not the best, but I'm a decent enough Rocket League player. I've been playing a lot of Dying Light too, because that game is badass, even though it's got its technical issues.
It's got a couple of technical follies, I would say.
Yeah.
Some flounders that they've made.
To say the least. I mean,
I would like to be able to save my game when I'm playing with a friend. I'm just saying, maybe I can have a couple of save options set up where like I got one slot for the one I'm playing with my homies, and then I got another slot for it's all solo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, could have been an idea. I'm just throwing that out there.
I hear you. I know we talked about that before. You wasn't too happy about the not saving progression. But,
I'm so fucking tight about that shit.
Yeah, I get it. You know, it is a little annoying. You know, I was defending it a little bit, and then when I played it, I was like, oh well, you know, it's not the greatest to have to do this shit again. But
Exactly.
I was having so much fun with the game that it really hasn't like bothered me too much. Now, what really fucked with me with this game is the bugs. So I actually encountered a bug where, you know, you get the paraglider thing when you're in the next area. Like, have you gotten that far?
Nah. You get a glider?
Okay, well, it's not like no big spoiler because that was all in the trailers. But you get this like paraglider thing.
That's hot.
You're the next area is like big skyscrapers and stuff. Now, I encountered a bug where
he's talking about Dying Light 2,
one of my friends,
Dying Light 2.
While he was ahead of me, and I got the blueprint for the paraglider, but now, once I got to the new area, I can't upgrade my paraglider. So now I have this level 1 glider that, like, just can't upgrade. It doesn't give me the option. And what I saw on Reddit was that Techland is not fixing the issue right now. Like, their fix is to restart your game. I'm like 40 hours into the game or something like that. There's no way I'm gonna restart now. So like,
hell no.
I'm just hoping that by the time I get towards the end game or whatever, that level 1 parachute is gonna let me complete the game, because otherwise I'm screwed. So I actually haven't played in a couple of days because of that.
Oh my god, I'd be so tight.
Oh man, you know, I was really upset for something like that to happen. You know, like a real game breaking kind of.
That's a necessity, I'm sure, to upgrade too, because like, I don't think, you know. I
can tell you already. Like they have like, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
but there's like parkour challenges where you use the paraglider, and I can't really do them because, you know, I can't float that far or fast.
I was just about to say, the upgrades have to have something to do with how far you can float or like how high you can go or something.
I noticed because I was playing with Scarlett, and she, I've been playing the game more than her, and I know that I upgraded my paraglider, and she's like, and I'm like doing this shit, like, I'm like, what the hell? Like, how the hell are you going so fast? And then I look, and I'm like, level 1 paraglider.
She was like, pew!
I was like, God damn. So, you know, you can make all these farther jumps and traverse so much better. So what I'm hoping is, like, later in the game, they have a grapple tool that you can use. Hopefully that doesn't bug out, and I'll be able to like, utilize the grapple tool to get to the end
higher
of the
places.
game,
Yeah, the higher places, you know, like just like go to like to the higher spot and then just jump off.
Batman in and shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, but the game, I was having great fun with the game. Otherwise,
it's been great. No, that's good. And I'm not dissing it. I just think that was a huge overlook, in my opinion. You know, that's a misstep. I think that they could have did like they did in the first game and just allowed us to just save it together. You know, I don't think that would have been that hard to implement, especially since that's how the first game was.
Right, that's fair. You know, that's fair. And the thing is, honestly, like the world-changing events, like it ain't as big a deal as initially made it seem. Like really, it's like
like Mass Effect. In Mass Effect, it's a big deal. Like if you say one thing and you do something else,
you have a whole
different experience.
Totally different experience. People were dying.
Yeah, people are dying. You made a decision. Now people are dying.
Thanks.
Good job.
Oh man, did you play the remakes of the Mass Effect games at all? They came out with that collection.
No, I played them when they first. Is it? I gotta replay them then. That might be something worth playing. Because like, I think I made a lot of like lazy decisions just because I didn't feel like listening to all the commentary. So a few of them I know I just skipped through and I was like, oh shit, I was supposed to do something there. So I know there's a few of them where I know I didn't really make the decision, I was just trying to skip through the. I'm just like, man, nigga, like, there's so much talking in Mass Effect. There is so much. Don't they know people don't got no attention spans no more? Like, this is the 21st century. Like, let's keep it real.
Well,
no, dog. If you watch a video on TikTok right now, and it doesn't grab your attention the first, I don't know, 3 seconds, you're skipping. You know you are.
Yo, but that's now. We're talking about games that these games came out before TikTok and all that shit. Like, you know, these are decades ago. Or a decade ago when these games came out. I mean,
thanks, Chris. I try to do them every Friday.
Like I said,
every Friday we
Metal
do the
Gear
podcast.
Solid is my favorite series. Metal Gear Solid 4. There's like 10 hours of cutscenes. Like, it's ridiculous.
Okay, no. You can't use cutscenes. Because cutscenes be hot. That's different. I'm talking about I'm standing in place, looking at somebody who's standing in place, saying blah 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 blah, blah, and then they say blah 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 blah, and then I say blah 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 blah, and then they say blah 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 blah, and then that's the entire interaction. What you're talking about is Solid Snake doing some gangster shit in the fucking cutscene, cutting away from somebody doing something real slick. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's different. I'm with that. I'd rather watch 10 hours of that than have to make a decision off of some shit I didn't listen to.
You gotta do your homework, bro.
Fuck.
Nah, but you know what? If you invested in the characters, like me personally, like I really liked Mass Effect's writing a lot. Now, the first game, the combat was like not that great, you know, but I was really invested in the characters. So every time I had an interaction, like Garrus, the Turian guy, he's like one of my favorite side characters like ever. Like, he was just cool, you know. And then Shepard would, you know, interact with all these people, and you were making decisions. Am I gonna be an asshole? You know, am I gonna play it cool? Am I be funny? Whatever. I loved it, you know, like, so I didn't mind sitting through, you know, a lot of dialogue, and a lot of that game is dialogue and choice. So like, I liked it a lot. But that first game's combat was trash.
The combat is terrible, but I did really enjoy when you find out that all the data transfers over. So like when I played the second game, and like people knew me and shit, like Shepard. And this is how I knew I made lazy decisions, because some bitch rolled up on me and smacked the shit out of me, and I'm like, whoa. What did I do to you? It's like, forgot my name, forgot to call me, forgot everything. I guess I'm just some piece of butt for you, or she said some shit like that, and I was just like, whoa.
Oh, damn.
I smashed and dashed? I don't even remember this. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
that's what happens when you smash and dash. You don't remember.
I guess so.
He was living the Shepard life.
Man, I was living a good life, because like I didn't even recognize her. I was just like, damn, like some of the people that have said my name, I know. And I'm like, you don't ring a bell. So it's fine. It's fine. I enjoyed those games.
There was I don't know which Mass Effect it is. I think it might be the first one, but like you get like interviewed by a reporter, and like you can be like a renegade and like slap the shit out of her.
Oh my god, I would have definitely did it. I would have definitely did it.
It's hilarious, bro. Like, it's so goofy. It's like
you smack the shit out of her.
He just slaps the press like.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it is so funny. Like Renegade Shepard is there. I like me when I play games, I tend to be the good guy.
That's what I usually do.
Like that.
I am
always
too.
A nice
I do the same
guy,
thing.
try to help everybody.
I do the same shit. I find that I usually get some dope rewards. Some dope rewards usually come when you play the good guy. Like when I was the good guy in Fable, you get this armor that's like, it's like a gold and blue armor. But then I found out if I played through it evil, you get the same armor, but it's black and red. And I was like, oh shit.
Black and red.
Black and red colorway.
Black and red though. Yeah.
Ooh.
I like anything black and red.
Me too.
That's
so
like
I had to start a new save file, and I had to kill some village. I had to kill the town folk. And in Fable, when you start going evil, you start slowly growing horns.
Yeah.
So like I'm like killing people. I'm just seeing like a stump starts coming out of my head. I'm like, what is that? I had to look that shit up. I was like, yo, what does Game Informer have to say? This is way back then. I like looked through Game Informer. I'm like, oh shit. When you kill people, you take on evil traits. So I became like a devil, and I just murdered a bunch of people. But the armor was hot though. Okay, I'm talking about
worth it. All those town folk.
Man, listen. I not only did I kill these people, I was robbing them. Because you can rob people too. Like you can just rob people. Like I didn't have to kill them, but people kept catching me robbing them. So then I had to kill them. You can't leave no witnesses,
like Red Dead.
Yeah.
Like robbing people. Like,
Real talk.
I'm going to call the sheriff. But
Real talk.
Dead eye them.
Mm-hmm. Simple and clean. That's even better, actually. I might have to play that next.
That's funny. that reminded me Metal Gear Solid 5 got a mechanic kind of like that where you like the more you kill people, you have a little horn in your head. And it starts to grow also, and then like you're always bloody and shit. Like, cause I used to play the game like for perfect stealth, so you could like knock everybody out and leave no trace behind or some shit like that. And then things would be different depending on how you played.
Yeah.
I remember we used to get that little fucking horn getting bigger in your head. Like it was funny.
What?
And then I played a other game. What was it?
That's the Phantom Pain, right? The fifth one?
Yes, the Phantom Pain. Like, the shittiest fucking story in the whole Metal Gear Solid. But
really?
The gameplay is so solid in that game. Like, I mean, I was actually debating somebody on TikTok a couple weeks ago. He was like, "Oh, how overblown that game is!" Like IGN giving it perfect 10s or whoever was, putting all this praise on the game, and it really sounded like he was just upset that the story was trash. And I agree, the story was trash. He didn't Kojima didn't even get to finish that story. But the gameplay is rock solid, bro. Like it was one of the best stealth games I ever played. Like as far as game mechanics, it's fantastic.
So what was wrong with the story then?
It was unfinished. Two, the main one of the main villains or the main villain in that game is a guy named Skullface, and he could have been like really cool and interesting, and he's just not. He just falls so flat. It's just so boring. Like,
I mean, I'm sitting here talking shit about his name being Skullface when I know we got people in the MCU called Red Skull. And his head is actually just a red skull.
Right. Like that's some Sailor Moon-esque shit, like tuxedo mask. Like how your name is just your outfit, I'm Hoodie. They call me Hoodie and shit,
Oh my god, no. That's a no-go.
Yeah, I mean, and then they killed that franchise after that game by coming out with that Metal Gear Survive. Like,
oh my god, that game was terrible.
Flip.
That game was terrible.
Oh my god,
that was worse than that Metal Gear writing game where he's like a robot.
That game actually, I think, has some merit. If you can just separate it,
that's writing.
It is writing, but I'm just saying, like, if you can separate it from it being like, oh, it's not a Metal Gear game. It is an action-packed, like, Devil May Cry style fight game, and it had a really cool mechanics with the like being able to slash things apart. Like the game is actually pretty solid. It's not one of the best games ever. The story is stupid.
Terrible.
Like another stupid story. Over the top action and like it was fun. It was a fun play. I actually don't hate that game. I think Metal Gear like Survive is definitely the worst
reminds
game.
me of like what was that game about the dude with the guns from Final Fantasy? Like they gave him his own game. It's from Final Fantasy VII. It's like the guy that uses the pistols, and like they gave him his own game, like for PlayStation 2 or 3.
Oh, the Barrett guy, like the big guy with the machine gun hand.
No, he used like pistols, like actual.
I don't remember
either. But it's a spinoff to all the Final Fantasy games. I mean, regardless. Anyways, I don't know.
Not every spinoff hits.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
cool.
The spinoff hits are some of them are good, but for the most part, they're not. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. One of the things that I noticed in that trailer, I've been hearing talks about Michael B. Jordan coming back, right, and reprising his role. But my thought process on that is, what if we meet a variant of Michael B. Jordan in that universe that's actually Black Panther?
That could be kind of cool.
Because the dude sitting on the left, on the far left, that's already sitting down, like already chilling, has what looks like a Wakanda necklace. It's like it's like a V structured, like silver, and then it comes to a point. Very similar to T'Challa's. So what if in that universe, maybe it wasn't T'Challa that becomes BP, maybe it's Killmonger.
Right, because I mean, maybe it's just like he won that battle that, you know, that he won in the movie, and then just actually killed the like T'Challa, and then he just stayed the Black Panther. You know, that could work.
Or let's take it a step further, because like that would entail that we still have an evil Killmonger, right? And that would mean that the multiversal Illuminati would be evil. Even though the Illuminati inherently isn't evil, they make difficult choices that can be viewed as evil, right? Like when they chose to emancipate the Hulk off the planet. That's how the Planet Hulk storyline starts.
Oh, okay.
They just deem him too dangerous. Like, dude, you're too angry. No one can control you. Like, we gotta kick you off of Earth, dog. This ship will be able to house you. You'll be comfortable on it, but it's gonna keep going. So he gets real mad when he's listening to this message. Like, oh, these motherfuckers, they think they can hold me. They think they can fuck with the dude. He turns into Denzel real quick, real fast. Busts out the ship, crash lands on the planet. He gets attacked. Obviously, he wins the attack, and then like he gets captured, and you know he learns how to speak basically. Like, I think they give him like a device where he can like communicate with them in their language, and he becomes like a gladiator. Because, you know, they have a glitorum, and he wins all the matches, and then he ends up, like, I think he, like, starts a mutiny, something, and I could be brushing over this too quickly, but I think he starts a mutiny, and that was kind of what we saw in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, that sounded
They kind of, like, stole a little bit of that story arc and gave it to Thor. That's really supposed to be the Hulk that starts that mutiny, and he breaks out and he takes over that planet and becomes the ruler of that planet. Like, has a wife. I think he gets a wife there and all kinds of shit. So like he becomes Joe, you know, and then he gets world breaker Hulk power. Like at that time, like he basically is able to harness his strength in the most devastating way, and motherfucker can actually break the world if he punches it. So it's
right.
You know,
I've only heard, like, because I'm not, like, super familiar with, like, all the storylines. I've heard little pieces, but, like, I know, like, World Breaker Hulk was, like, able to, like, crush, like, a whole Eastern, like, coastline with just a footstep or some shit.
Yeah, he's not
to be fucked with. Some super overpowered thing.
And honestly, like, we'll probably never see that in the MCU. I mean, unless they would have to do that so right. You know, because people are real enthusiasts of this shit, and like that story arc is really important to a lot of people. And the anime that they did for it, like they did like an animation for it, Marvel released. It was not bad. It wasn't bad. You know, animation could be better.
Animation is so much easier to get right compared to like live action.
I know.
You could really.
I just don't see why there's there's like a necessity to like change it for live. It's like, oh well, if we're gonna do this live, this should be this way. It's like, well, what's wrong with just using what we saw in the comic.
I mean, I
Like,
guess
what's wrong with that?
it could be like time constraints. Maybe you don't want to have a movie that's 4 hours long, like the Snyder verse or Snyder cut, which I think is the most overblown thing ever. Like, yeah, it happened, but you shouldn't take 4 hours to tell a decent story because that movie's not all that. But beside the point, I just I just think that maybe like you gotta condense certain things. Certain things got to get cut out. So
I mean, I kind of agree, but we're looking at a close to 3 hour long Batman movie that's about to come out, and I have a feeling that's going to have excellent pacing. I just have like this dude Reeves has directed some great shit in the past, and people are really sleeping on Twilight. And I don't know why they're sleeping on Twilight. Maybe it's because of Twilight, but they really shouldn't be sleeping on Twilight. I think he's going to do quite well. And I think he's going to do well for all the right reasons.
It's funny that you calling him Twilight. That is fucking hilarious to me. But like, I'll be honest, I never watched Twilight.
Really?
It never really piqued my.
They're hilarious.
It really wasn't for me. The only thing I ever seen of Twilight was like that last battle where the guy gets his head chopped off, and then it turns out it was all a vision. So like, that's all my experience with Twilight.
Right.
But like, to me, it was like I'm also kind of sleeping on the guy because I haven't seen a lot of his work.
Dude, have you seen Tenet?
Ooh, which one?
Tenet.
I haven't watched Tenet yet. I've been.
He's in that. He's really good in that too.
He might be. The thing is, I'm not super hyped about it, but I'm also kind of open to maybe he's gonna have a good performance because I thought Ben Affleck was gonna be the worst thing.
Hey man, around here we call that boy Twilight. All right, that's what we call him around here.
The best thing that ever happened to the DCEU. Like,
dude, I completely agree, but people don't appreciate what Batfleck did. Okay, they don't appreciate that we got our first real Batman fighting scene ever. Okay, the scene in the warehouse.
I'm about to say
the scene in the warehouse.
Oh boy, when he rock bottoms.
Yes. No. My favorite scene is when he gets stabbed, and he does like a kip up, but like he knees old boy in the head, like he's right here, and he brings his knee all the way up, like I'm like the choreography of that whole fight sequence. Chef's kisses.
The only thing I would say is that they made him into like he was murdering people in that movie.
Okay, look, yes.
That's kind of like against like Batman.
Yes, it is against his code, and I didn't quite agree with it either. But I think that we were going for a darker version of Batman.
Oh, they went dark.
I mean,
fucking slamming guys
if Batman wanted to become the Punisher, he would be a far more deadly Punisher.
He would murder like everybody. Come on, bro.
There's a version of him that does that, dog. Have you read any of those? So they're called a Dark Knight Metal or the Gotham Metal or something like that. But basically, it's like all the alternate versions of Batman that are evil, and each alternate version has a different power from the Justice League. So you have one that's like the Flash, one
Batman
that yes,
power,
he's fucking
that's
crazy.
Nice.
There's one with the Green Lantern ring, and his will is so strong that he starts killing people with it. And the Guardians and Oa are like, "Yo, we gotta take this dude out," and they come to take him out. All the Green Lanterns come, and he kills them all. His will is too strong. Bruce's will was too strong. He killed all of them. And then he kills the Guardians for sending them. He's like, oh, you gonna send these Rent-A-Cops after me, motherfucker? On my planet, motherfucker? I am Bruce Wayne, motherfucker. Like, yeah. So he kills all of them. Yeah, it's crazy. And then there's another one where I think he gets Superman's powers too. There's a bunch of them. You gotta read them. Those are really good. Because the alternate versions are just like, holy shit. And then in some of them, the Joker is like the good guy. Like randomly. Like just random shit like that. Just like in there's an Elseworld story about Superman where he lands in Russia instead of landing in Smallville, Kansas.
Oh, I've heard of that
It's
one.
called Red Sun. It's called Red Sun.
Yeah, I have seen it.
And in that one, Batman, instead of him being like a vigilante hero, he's a fucking terrorist in Russia, and he's after Superman. He believes wholeheartedly like he's gonna end up taking over the world. He's not wrong, because eventually Superman starts seeing, and he's raised in Russia, so it's not the same. He's not raised by the parents who tell him you have to let people be who they are, and you have to understand that there's going to be differences between all of us, and that no one man is made the same, and no one man is better than any other. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't grow up with those teachings and those morals. So when he starts to see all the ill in the world, he thinks that he can just fix it. He's like, well, I mean, I'm trying to do so much. Like, I can bend bars with my hands, and I can fly to the sun and back, but I can't cure cancer. That's what he's trying to do. The whole comic, he's trying to put together a formula to cure cancer. But on the other side of the planet, you got Lex Luthor, who's doing everything he can to try to defeat this alien because he's taken over the world. So when that finally happens at the end of the comic, he finally thinks, like, everybody thinks Superman's gone. They're like, holy shit. Luthor is left over, and you know what Luthor does? Now that all of his intelligence isn't concentrating on Superman and how to defeat him, he cures AIDS, cancer. He cures every known disease there is. He pushes life expectancy to over 700 years. People are not dying until they're in their 700-800s. He dies at 1,000 years old. On his deathbed, his grandkids, his great-great-grandkids, all his kids, his whole family's around, the people Republic around, they ask him, what is your greatest achievement? It's not curing cancer. It's not the life expectancy. It's not curing AIDS or HIV. It's defeating Superman.
Wow. Boy had a boner for Superman for a
man. It doesn't matter what universe we're in, Lex and Superman are always going to be crossed. So
I mean, that doesn't even sound like it's sustainable, bro. Like, how you gonna have nobody's dying? Like, dog,
I'm not lying. We've scoured the dude. Earth is just one planet we have now. That's how smart he is, bro. Okay. Yeah, dude, we've got planet. Yeah, dog. Like, he's like, we're good, because if we had a Lex Luthor for real in this world, oh man, we'd be good. Because there's no Superman for him to worry about. I don't give a fuck. Be evil. As long as my life expectancy is 700 years plus, and there's no world hunger, dog. There's no wants for nothing. No one wants for anything. People are creative. People are out there doing things with art, literature. Like he built a utopia, and it's all because he didn't have to concentrate on defeating Superman.
Oh my god!
Like, you remove Superman. That's like you know what that's like. And this is gonna sound fucked up, and I know it's probably not the best comparison, but that's like somebody pushing Hitler into going into art school and making sure he became an artist.
Right, and he didn't fuck up the world.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like kind of the equivalent. But we've been talking for an hour, so I'm gonna let you go. I know you gotta get on your PUBG with your boy. So I want to thank you. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Likewise, my brother.
I know we didn't get into all the topics, but I'll save that for another time.
Yeah. Anytime, brother. Give a little shout out to my man Viper.
Yes,
give
Viper.
A shout out
thank you.
To my brother Danny with the anomaly gear that he gave me.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that sweater's looking real fresh. I like that colorway, purple and yellow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, I'm on my Joker shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, you know, hit me anytime. You know, good talk.
Of course, man. It's always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure, dog. I'll see you soon.